Kia ora, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a short video series just looking at how to make a game with p5.js. Here is the game that we're hoping to make. It's sort of a Space Invader-y style game. So let's take a look. I have a player down the bottom, and I can fire bullets every time I click. And those bullets can kill these little enemies that are coming down, raining down on us. And I have a score. And when one of these enemies reaches the bottom, like that, I lose, and I get a score based on how many enemies I've killed. That's our game. Let's build it. But before we build it, the first step, before we actually code up anything, is to really have a think about the different components for each of, for this game. So let's go, let's make a new file, and here we go. Okay, what are the different things that I need to have happen in order for this game to work? Well, first thing I need is I'm just going to add these as comments with little double slashes. First thing that we need is a player, right? We need the player to move on x-axis. Player's going to move on the x-axis, but not on the y. We're going to have bullets spawn on click. We need to have the enemies. We need to have collisions then need to happen between the bullets and the enemies. We need to deal with that somehow. And we need to deal with score somehow, right? And we also need to be able to lose this game somehow as well, right? Let's add that as another one. And then, what else? After that point, that's all we're going to do. And I'm going to have to be very careful today to not stand in front of the code. After that list, it's going to be up to you to figure out what else can you do with this game. Let's get started with number one. Okay, so the player needs to be able to move on the x-axis. Let's get it in there by first. Let's draw a circle. Let's draw a circle at, draw a circle, and the circle's going to be at, let's say it's going to be at 200, and it's going to be 25 big. Yeah, cool, great, we have a circle. Come over here a little bit, circle. But it's not doing very much at all. It's not responding to my mouse at all. Okay, how do I get it moving on the x-axis with my mouse? Have a think about that. See if you can solve it. But in 3, 2, 1, here's the answer. We're going to go mouse X. And I'm setting the circle's X position to my mouse's X position. Okay? So that now when I shift it, its X position shifts along with my mouse. But its Y position is still locked in place. And I think it's a bit high. So I'm going to bring its height position all the way down to 50 from the bottom. How do we say 50 from the bottom? We say height, and then take 50 off, right? Canvas is currently 400 pixels high. So up here is 0. All the way down here is 400. And I'm just saying come up 50 pixels from the bottom. And there we go. Now a little bit of room, and it's following my mouse nicely. Okay, that's part one. We've done it. Get the player to move. What I'm going to do as we go through this code, I'm going to add little comments about what each part of the code is doing, because this program is going to get big and it's going to get complex. So if you add comments through it, it should keep you centered as to what each line of your code is doing. So this is draw the player. And I suggest you do the same as well. It will help you in the future. Okay, that one's done. Let's get some bullets, and let's get them to spawn when we click. Okay, how do we get something to happen when we click the mouse in p5.js? Well, if you go and check the reference, you'll see that there's something called function mouse pressed. Cool. we now have something that happens when we click the mouse. What are we doing? Absolutely nothing. We're doing nothing at the moment. Let's do something. Let's console.log. I'm clicked. Let's run it, and I'm clicked. I'm clicked. 4 times, 6 times, 8 times. I'm clicked a lot and a lot and a lot. Okay, so we can now do something when the mouse is clicked, but what do we want to do? We want to make a bullet appear on the screen, and then we want something to happen with that bullet. That's sort of 2 separate things. Let's do the first part first. Let's get a bullet to appear on the screen. So we need to make a bullet. So the best way to do that, I think, is to make an object. So let's say let bullet equal, and we're going to make an object here with these 2 curly braces. What does a bullet have? A bullet has a few different properties, but the ones I'm really interested in is an X position and a Y position. So I'm here, I'm on my canvas, I click. Where do I want the bullet to appear? Well, clearly I want it to appear, whoops, my hand doesn't go that far. Clearly I want it to appear where the player is. Where is the player? Well, the player is at mouse X, height minus 50. So let's make that bullet have an X position of mouse X and a Y position of height minus 50. So we do that by saying X colon mouse X, comma, very important, comma, Y colon height minus 50. Okay, do I have a bullet yet? No, of course not, because all I'm doing right now is making this bullet and then doing nothing with it. How am I gonna keep this bullet? How am I going to make sure I save it, make sure I can do something with it later? I can store it in an array or a list of bullets. Let's make a list of bullets. So right at the top, I'm gonna make a list. So I'm gonna say let bullets equal empty list, square brackets, like that. Cool. And now, once I've made my bullet, I can add it to the list. And I do that by saying bullets dot push bullets dot push bullet. So I want to add to the list bullets, I want to push the bullet I've just made. Bullets dot push bullet. Right. Do I have a bullet yet? I think you know the answer. It's no. No, I do not. Why not? Oh, I'm getting a different error. Bullets is not defined. Oh, I have bullets A. Bullets. There we go. Still nothing. I still have no bullets. But actually I do. They are saved there. I'm just not showing them on the screen. So let's show them on the screen and see what happens. So every time we go around draw, let's draw the player, and then let's say for let bullet of bullets. So for every bullet that is in that bullet list, do something. Do what? Oh, let's draw it. Let's I'm not going to make them fancy colors today. You can do that for homework. We can make this game look pretty. Maybe you want them different sizes. Maybe you want them to have different shapes. That's fine. That's up to you. I'm going to go really simple and monotone today. You add the colors in. You add the different shapes in. You add the different sizes in, different speeds. Change it up. Make it your own. I'm going for simple right now. So let's just draw a circle. Let's draw a circle, and let's draw it at bullet.x, bullet.y, and how big? Well, smaller than the player. Let's make it 10 big. Cool. Hey, we have lots of bullets, but they're not doing anything yet. Let's make them go up. So, how do we make them go upwards? Well, you'll remember that our canvas has a x-axis and a y-axis, so if I want them to go up, I need to change their y coordinate. They currently have a y coordinate of height minus 50 or 350. So we need to, in order to move them up, we need to take some of that away. We need to get them closer to y equals 0. So let's take something off their y coordinate each time they go around this loop. Each time we go around draw, let's take a little bit off their y coordinate. So, so inside this loop, I'm still inside my for loop. Bullet dot y minus equals. What does that mean? Of course, we've covered this a few times. Minus equals, that means it has the same value minus a little bit, minus something. Keep it the same, just take a little bit off. Take how much off? I'm gonna say 2. Take 2 off. Let's see what happens. Yes, we have some bullets rising up into the air. It's a bit slow. Let's make it a bit faster. Let's say we want nice zippy bullets. Woo. Cool. I love it. I'm gonna change the background a bit hard to see. It's white on white. Don't like white on white. Let's change the background to 51. Yes. Lovely grey. There we go. That looks a bit better. Cool. We now have a player who can spawn bullets when they click, and those bullets are drawn on the screen and they move a bit each loop. I'm just going to change one thing which is bugging me here. I want to, in the way of the code, I want to change its position before I draw it. That's going to just make the game feel a bit nicer, or else you end up with some little artifacts that happen where you're showing your bullet not quite where the computer thinks that the bullet is. So we just want to update it first, and then draw it. Okay, let's add in some comments. What are we doing here? What is this for loop doing? We're saying draw, update first, update, and draw the bullets. And down here, what's happening down here? Spawn a bullet every click. Spawn a bullet when the user clicks. And that's all we're doing there, along with adding it to the list. Okay, I think that's a reasonable place to pause and just gather what we've done. I will see you in the next one to take a look at the next parts of this. So we've spawned some bullets on our click. I'll see you in the next one. We're going to make some enemies. We're going to deal with some collisions, and we're going to make score as well. I'll see you there. Ka kite anō.